So I could not do this video, okay? I'm a massive, massive Fast and Furious fan. I've talked quite a bit about this franchise, mainly on my main channel on Podcast Now, which hopefully you guys know exists. But in this video, we're going to talk about some of the reviews, or I guess impressions of the movie, because what's odd about it is people have seen it, okay? I believe it's actually being shown like just normally in Japan. Like people are just watching the film. So it's out there. For the love of God, if you know spoilers, do not tell me them, at least right now. I want to kind of go in, as fresh as I can. But there's a group of people that were able to see this movie, and they, from what I understand, they weren't able to give review scores. They were able to give impressions on Twitter because there was a review embargo. Now, I don't know when that review embargo lifts, but on Rotten Tomatoes, it actually does have a score as of right now. It's at a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes based off of 5 reviews, which, again, kind of makes it sound like they weren't supposed to do that because, again, the embargo. So I don't know what it actually is going on. But what I will say is the impressions of the movie are kind of mixed. Now, most of the tweets I'm going to read from what I've seen kind of before I recorded this are more positive. There's one very negative, but the rest of them I would say is overall positive. The review that's the 60, and there's like, the 5 people, is a little bit more of the negative. So I want to break down all of it and talk about what I think. I don't go based off critics specifically for movies. Movies is like 1,000 times worse for games than games, in my opinion, where there's movies that have perfect scores, have in the 90s, on Rotten Tomatoes, that are, in my opinion, garbage or lean a certain way or whatever. They're just bad. Okay, I just don't connect to them. But then there's also movies that got really bad scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and there's very much a disconnect from critic scores and then fans. So movies are like that. I didn't really expect anything different. Fast and Furious is a very polarizing franchise, but let's jump in and read. So I'm not going to necessarily say these people's names. I'm just going to read off their tweets. I've seen F9 and can say it's a ton of fun. The action feels fresh and innovative, if not necessarily bigger. It weaves in John Cena's Jacob in a smart way that builds on the theme of family, giving it some real heart. This is the ultimate Fast and Furious. Also, Han is still great. I watched F9 today, and it's exactly what you hope it will be. It is the perfect summer blockbuster. Massive, memorable action sequences with lots of heart, humor, family, drama, super magnets, and they finally go to space. Longtime Fast fans will adore all the nods to the previous films. F9 is by far the biggest and most ridiculous Fast and Furious yet, miles from the precision of Fast 5 or the fun of Tokyo Drift. Well, I hated Tokyo Drift, but with Justin Lin at the helm, it feels like things are finally moving in the right direction. Justice for Han. F9 had me smiling like a straight man at a sport ball gathering. I don't even know what that means. It's all wink, wink, nudge, nudge, vroom, vroom, and I loved it. The over-the-top set pieces you want, plus some old-school F1 to F2 vibes. As for Justice for Han, there will be takes, but Tokyo Drift heads are in for a treat. F9 is a grandiose fun, bombastic, brazen, bold, supercharged stunts, and ambitious set pieces or action set pieces mixed with combustible soap opera dramatics. It's a cacophony, car-crunching mayhem. Vin Diesel and John Cena are terrific. Tyrese is the stealth MVP. Plenty of gas left in the tank. And then this guy. Now, I've seen him on YouTube and all this stuff. Giovanni Campia. I think that's how you say his last name. Honestly, I've never watched enough of his stuff, but I do recognize that name. My F9 reaction. The Fast movies 4 through 8 work well because they embrace the ridiculousness, but at some point, it's way too much. The couple of moments, too, of laughs and charm are totally overwhelmed by the eye-rolling nonsense. It's the worst Fast and Furious movie to date. So that's a statement. Let me just tell you right now, that's a statement. So, and I looked at the 5 reviews, and honestly, I don't even know if some of the tweets I just read made it into those 5 reviews, but it does seem like the issue that could have happened with this movie, and we'll talk about if it's even an issue, is it took it. We finally hit 11, okay? All the Fast movies, really from 4 on, were like at a 10 out of 10 in terms of over-the-topness. This one finally broke that gauge, moved it to an 11, and for some people, it seems like it's just too much for them. Now, I'm not, a lot of that's joking. Okay, I'm not actually calling people out. Look, Fast and Furious is polarizing. There's people that love F1 through 3, Tokyo Drift being 3, and then hate the rest. There's people that like all of them. There's people that only like probably 5 on, okay? And some people, by the way, don't like any of them, okay? You gotta respect people's opinions at the end of the day. And the fact, actually, you don't have to respect them. You just have to respect that they can have them. You know what I mean? You can disagree. You can hate their opinion, but I think you have to respect the fact that they're able to have their own. So I like the fact that there's a little mix in terms of people's reaction for this movie. I mean, I will be flat out honest. I do love the over-the-top stuff. I don't really see anything wrong with it because I feel like for these movies, what I've always tried to do, especially 5 on, I really do believe this, 5 on, is they are so over the top, but I've just had fun with them. I haven't taken it too seriously. And then there are moments of, like, weight to these films. There are. It's one of the reasons why, and again, I don't want spoilers or anything, but it's one of the reasons why I do want weight in these movies. The reason 6 is my favorite is because they kill Han and Giselle. Now, they bring Han back. Could they bring Giselle back? I hope so. And that's kind of hypocritical, isn't it? I hope they bring her back, and yet the movie I like the most actually resulted in 2 of them dying, those 2 dying, and then I want them to be brought back. So it's kind of odd when you say it like that because I do want there to be weight in these films, and but at the same time, I really do feel like there is, and that I don't know, is that weird to say? In my opinion, really, I would say 4 too, but I think people look at 5 as one of the better ones, or if not the best. 5, 6, 7, 8. I like all of them. I just did my ranking of them. 6 is my favorite. Then I think I said maybe like 8 after that. 7 is very messy, but it has its moments. But even like 7. So 7's very messy. 7 is not like the greatest movie of all time. It's got huge set pieces that I have fun with. And then it does have weighted moments, mainly with Brian and Mia. Specifically, I'm thinking of that last phone call that they have before they're going to do kind of that last mission. I love that scene to death. And I actually think it's one of, if not the best scenes, and it's literally just them both separated from each other, but they play it literally so well, okay? And I love that scene. And I think that with these movies, I've been able to do that where it's like, yeah, do I take them that seriously? Is there like this huge lore thing around the movie that I like quote, in the off weeks I'm not watching it? No, but I do think there is weight to them and that there is seriousness to it. So I think, again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can only speak from my opinion, kind of reading what other people are saying. I really doubt that this movie is so over the top, much more than like even 8 was, because a lot of people I've even seen on Twitter and stuff like that, like 8 was kind of the breaking point for some people, which is like, I can't believe 8 was when you jumped out, okay? But 8, yeah, like the submarine, there's a lot of over-the-top stuff in 8, I understand that. I actually think 8, though, had some of the best emotion and weighted moments in the entire, including Hobbs and Shaw, 9 movies, okay? But it also was the most over the top. You know what I mean? So, and I actually love that so much because there were the most just unbelievable, not even eye-rolling, I don't even roll my eyes at it, but there were those moments in 8, but it also had Vin Diesel doing acting things that he's like never done before, in my opinion. And it did have weight, and they actually did have chance. Like, I think they could have killed Shaw and made him stay dead in that movie, and it would have really done something with Hobbs. I get why they didn't, but I think they had chances, and they also did separate things that really work. So basically what I'm saying again is, like, I respect the fact that these people have opinions. I respect their opinions in general, right? I can understand why people maybe wouldn't like 9, and it's hard for me to even say because I haven't seen it, but I just really doubt that it's so over the top, more over the top than 8, which, I do think it would be over the top, like more over the top, but like to such an insane degree that it almost, actually, according to some people, that it basically ruins the movie. You know what I mean? I don't think that's ever happened. I also trust Justin Lin quite a bit. Remember, he didn't do 7 and 8, but he did quite a few of the other. He did my favorite 1 and 6. And he's back now. And that whatever there was the girl that said, like, he's back and it feels like it's moving in a good direction. I will say, 8 felt very good in that way. 7 was all over the place, and it probably was because of Paul Walker, and a lot of things had to be shifted. But 7 really, like, it had a definitive ending in a way, but throughout the whole movie, it didn't really feel like it knew what it wanted to do with, like, world building and carrying it into future movies. Whereas 8, specifically with letting Cypher go, definitely felt like it knew what it was doing. I do expect 9 to do the same. Like, where 9 feels like it knows that there's going to be a 10, and I think Justin Lin is a big part of that. So, slightly disappointed, obviously, to see that it's rated. I believe Fate of the Furious, they said, was a 68 on Rotten Tomatoes, so this is right now scoring lower, but it's based off of 5 people, so I'm sure it's going to go all over the place. And again, I truly don't care about Rotten Tomatoes scores literally whatsoever. I mean, I care about them and the fact that I talk about them, but I guess I shouldn't say I don't care about them. I don't base any of my decision-making when it comes to watching things off of Rotten Tomatoes. I will never in my life, and if I do that, I should go build a ditch and jump in it. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? What do you think about the early impressions / reviews, whatever you want to call it? I will be making, more videos. Once there's kind of a definitive rating review score of the movie with like more than 5 people, I'll definitely be doing, a video on that. But more Fast and Furious videos coming, mainly on the main channel. So obviously this is a podcast now. Plus, I want you guys to subscribe here. I want you guys to hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. But make sure, obviously, you know about podcasts now, which I assume most of you do. Thank you so much for watching. I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.